and gentlemen, welcome to Drive-By Reviews, and today we're talking about fireballs and how to use them! Woo! Fireballs! Now this is a request by somebody who was saying that some of the people in this game, some of the people in this league, didn't know how to use fireballs correctly, and he wanted me to show you guys how to use it with a strategic perspective of DBR. So here we go. Now for me, Fireball's a great name. You know, it's a simplistic spell name that you're gonna find almost in any type of mythological game, fantasy game, strategy game, but based on how it's used in Dawn of Titans, I almost wish it had a different attack name, simply because it does a lot more damage than you might expect out of a fireball attack, right? I mean, just simple fireball. In fact, I have a couple attacks of my own that I think the titles of would work perfectly for Fireball and Dawn of Titans. Like,
Dragon Fist Explode!
And of course,
Kamehameha times 10!
In any case, anything's better than chicken attack, so I guess we'll stick with Fireball for now. But Dragon Fist wouldn't be half bad. Or how about Fist of the Beast King? Anyways, without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at some fireballs, all right? So here we go. I would say my style of gameplay is very conservative. And you guys might recall if you watched my actually very first Dawn of Titans video where I have 0 losses is what I was saying. And that's just my mentality when I play in a game like this. If you're attacking with troops that cost food to gain food and you lose troops in the process, I feel like that's just a step backwards while you're trying to move forward. It's a waste of your time. In the same way, you know, if you're trying to get gold and you're utilizing spells in battle, it's the same concept. So I like to use spells when I gain them for free as they drop in battle. I don't often use them from my own reserve unless I feel like I'm doing a battle that I really want to win and I've gone for on purpose for whatever reason, whether it's revenge or if it's just a ton of resources and it's worth the extra 10,000 or 20,000 gold to drop 4 spells into the battle, or 1. So here we go, let's take a look and see how this goes. Now Fireball. Fireball is interesting because just like the Unot Grenadiers, it's best used on large groups of troops. In other words, if a unit comes down and it's pikemen, grenadiers, archers, these large groups of people, Fireball's fantastic. It doesn't do very good against single units, just like the grenadiers, right? Drop a fireball on top of a Goliath's head and he's gonna be like, what was that? Someone say something? I mean, he doesn't care. Same thing with Titans, same thing with Panthers. You might get a little dinged on them, but like, why would you waste a fireball on that? It's deadly to pikemen, and pikemen are deadly to you, so we're grenadiers. So check it out, here we go. We're gonna jump into battle here. All right, so now this is one of those common maps, mid-level. I believe this is like a level 17 land? Something like that. Anyways, moving my Titan forward, and I really don't care about archers. That's what I love about using them. If they get hit by those grenadiers, it's fine, so I don't actually defend them. If I was worried about it, I would put something over there to try and kite the grenadiers' flak, their first shot. But sometimes they don't even get a shot off, so whatever. Anyways, so check it out. This is a pretty classic setup where we've got an arrangement of different troops on the backside. And then you see the grenadiers got a shot off. Tend to sit back, the units that start off, unless you attack them, and this weird obstacle in the middle allows you to just sit there with your Titan, and he, you know, brings everything to him. He's a great tank if you have a tank mode, and I'm using Valwen in this battle, so it's fantastic. But now this is what I would consider not the most ideal way to use Fireball as I do in this battle, but I would consider it one of the many ways. I would say ideally, if you can take out 3 to 4 units with a Fireball, you've done quite well in that use of that Fireball. If you take out 1 unit, it's probably the poorest way to use a Fireball, unless you really, really need that unit gone ASAP, usually towards the end of a battle. And that's kind of rule number 1 with spells. Use them at the end of the battle if possible. But I was just trying to demonstrate here what Fireballs can do. I decided not to use it on that one because they're going to die anyways. As you can see, everything's still getting pulled into Valwen, so I'm not really worried. And I'm even going to pull in this other Grenadier unit. Actually, I'm just going to kill him, I think. Piece of cake. Boom, there it goes. Gosh, so deadly, those Grenadiers. Oh, they got a shot off on the remainder, that first hit. So here we go. I'm going to demonstrate in this battle, probably the poorest use of the spell, but also I want to show you the damage difference between Grenadiers and Goliaths. So watch this. You drop a fireball on, you know, everyone knows this, right? You should know this if you used it. Boom, they're dead. Now watch this. I drop a fireball with the spread between the Goliath and the Grenadiers, and boom, they're dead. Goliath takes a sliver of damage. A sliver of damage. I mean, it's ridiculous. Also, one thing to keep in mind with spells like Fireball that have a little bit of lag, in fact, they all have a little bit of lag, is if you got a unit coming forward, you just want to keep in mind where you're going to drop that spell, whether it's in front of them as they're walking into it, and if they're stopped, just right on top of them like that. But there you go. That's the worst way to use fireballs, in my opinion, where you're taking 1 unit out per fireball. Complete waste of the gold that they're worth. And there you go. Easy win. Easy win. I could have won that battle without the spells, though, easily. And usually spells you should only utilize when you absolutely need them to win, either to take off DPS from pikemen right off the beginning of the bat, or to take out the reinforcements that drop in the same spot, hopefully, at the same time. So let's move on to the next battle and take a look at that. All right, here we go. Attacking again. We are attacking a level 17 land this time. And we're going to go in against 70,000 strength. And I'm going to take intentionally less strength using Valwen and archers so that hopefully I have to utilize some fireballs to balance out this battle. Making myself weaker, right? Here we go. A little bit of a mix there. Grenadiers for the longer range attacks. Second rule of spells here is that usually you want to bring in a mix of spells. And I find that the first 4 are usually a pretty good mix. I don't like terror personally. It causes some bugginess with Goliaths where they're filled with terror and they run to the edge of the map and they never come back. So you have to go chase them at the end of the freaking map and you're running your clock. It's a waste of time to terror a Goliath. Don't do it unless you have to. I don't like the spell terror, but I bring it in because I don't like having them. I want to throw them away and they keep dropping from raids. Here we go again. Same map, same idea, right? You lose an archer round. If I didn't want to lose that archer round, I would just put something that could attack them really quickly on the edge there, or something melee that could take the damage. But I didn't care at this point. So here we go. Same beginning, drawing in the Goliath, throwing out the Grenadiers to take out the other Grenadier units. Everything's coming to Valwen, not a problem. But in this one, I wanted to demonstrate how to utilize the range of the fireball in a different way. So there's a couple things you can do. You can try and make sure that everything is encapsulated within that ring of the fireball, or you can try and grab as many units in the surrounding area. And a lot of times, what they've tried to do to make them less susceptible to the fireball damage, I'm pretty sure is how they've changed the ports. Some of the portals in these battles they've made spread a bit more. In fact, after the update, I think they even spread it out a little bit more to try and avoid that immediate damage. So what's happening is instead of having Grenadiers on top of each other, there'll be like 3 in a very near area. All right, so let's just fast forward here. Moving on, a spell drops, thankfully, so I got a second fireball here. Boom, and in the back, as you can see, there's multiple Grenadier units now trying to pick off my Titan. Now, at this point, I'm not too worried about it because that one's got some pretty decent defense. In fact, archers are far more deadly to her at this point. But as you can see, there's 3 units. And right there, encapsulate them, fireball comes down, boom. It doesn't have to be exactly precise. It's not like one's gonna escape. If they're pretty much in that circle, they're all dead, okay? They're all dead. And that's the surrounding way. That's what I consider the best way to use a fireball. 3 or more units taken out, that's a phenomenal fireball drop, and that's the best way to use those. The other way to use them is if you're in a pinch and something like a Grenadier unit's dropped somewhere where you didn't expect, it's going to take out your ranged units, you really need them to die or not shoot that one shot off, you can either hit them with a fireball or a freeze spell, which will be a future video. And that's the best way to use that. All right, here we go. Here's a different type of map, and this is the one I was talking about as far as dropping a fireball in an area to try and bring everyone in. So in this particular map, you guys have seen this before most likely, where they have those 2 walls on your flanks, and they've got you surrounded. The main thing here is everything is gonna spawn to the north, but at the same time, you've got the Goliaths that need some archer work to take out. You've got the Grenadier units you gotta hit first, which is fine because for some reason in this map, as they turn that corner, they just don't take a shot. They don't take a shot for a long time. So as long as you take out the Goliaths, you don't really have to worry about the Grenadier units. So here we go. I basically have everything bombard the Goliath at first, and then I kind of take 2 units here and I say go after the Grenadier unit because they're probably the first ones to get the shot off, and one hit from them is going to be pretty good. So down they go, and then I say archers take out that other Goliath because he's going to go straight at my ranged units. My Titan's still too far away. I'm not really paying attention to the right side. And here it comes, right? In the back, we've got all our reinforcements spawning. I don't know why you put Panthers in there. It's silly. Goliath falls. Other Goliath comes in. Do I get to use a free spell in this? Oh, and see, there you go. So the Grenadiers were actually closer to my Titan, but they decided to attack the ranged units. That's a great update. That's really smart. So here we go. 3 units in a row. Now watch this. Fireball laid on them. It's not going to take the units out because it didn't encapsulate them, but it is going to significantly weaken 3 units instead of 1. Now, Typically what I would really do in that situation is if I didn't want any more of my grenadiers or archers to die, I would have just dropped it on the front 2 units and gotten more of those too. But I want to show you how you can maximize damage if they're not on top of each other. You can try and wait for things to move around, but basically grenadiers aren't going to move once they have a target until the target moves. So there you go. That's the encapsulating fireball drop. But let's show you what I consider the best possible use, because grenadiers are fine. I think generally if grenadiers are coming down in a certain spot, and if you can get your Titan there, you really shouldn't need a fireball to take them out, because once your Titan is on top of them, there's nothing they're going to do to you anymore. They're basically wasted units. So you can use your fireball on them if you're in a pinch like that was, but in the meantime, the best use of them is to take out the strongest units in the game against your Titan, and that is currently archers and pikemen, but I'm gonna say pikemen right now, so check this out. Boom, all right, here we go. Level 16 land, we're gonna jump in there. Only 45,000 defense, so, you know, it's not that hard of a battle. But what you're gonna find is, with people like Korea, right? Apox Korea will be a fantastic defensive Titan just because of its skill set. Boosting pikemen is such a great ambush against people raiding your lands. In fact, it's the main reason people fail against my garrison attacks at this point is because I jump in occasionally and throw a Korea in there. But check it out, this map used to be a cinch. But you throw a bunch of pikemen on there and you'll find that, especially with just archers, they don't fall very quickly. And depending on what their defenses are, maybe even grenadiers don't have a very good use. So I try and get my Titan around them as my archers pick off the pikemen, but you're gonna find that as they lay into them with these arrows, they don't fall that quickly. Like, that was a whole volley of arrows from all my archers, and it only took out 1 unit per volley. But I'm feeling pretty good now because now it's just a bunch of ranged units in the background. The archers are kind of dangerous. I had a shielder, and then boom, 4 units drop. 4 units drop, but fireball! Guarantee you my Titan would have died there with 2 pikeman units and the archers taking that long to take 1 out per volley of all the archer units. So that's the best use of the fireball right there. You have a pinch hit on a bunch of dropped in units with a fireball that's just like that. You gotta be ready to go. And that's what I would consider the best use of the fireball, taking out a whole plethora of units for just 1 spell. It's fantastic. But there you guys go. I hope that helps you. Right now, as you can see on the screen, we had this fireball and lightning and poison promotion, 2 times damage. So it was a great time to have fun with them if you were out there with spells, because they were highly effective, if you know what I'm saying. I'm saying they're highly effective. That's exactly what I'm saying, so you better know what I'm saying. Otherwise, you don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Alright, there you go. For those of you guys that know how to use fireballs, I get it. Some of this is common sense. But for those of you who didn't know, I hope this helped you out a bunch and helps you conserve and save spells and use them wisely in the future. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe. And tune in next time to Dawn of Titans with Drive-By Review. You talking to me? I love punching this thing. Huh. You can take it.